As Prime Minister Mark Carney met with US President Donald Trump recently, energy should have been the issue behind every headline, whether mentioned or not. Canada's future as a sovereign, economically resilient country will depend in no small part on whether the country seizes this moment or stalls out again in a fog of regulatory inertia and political ambivalence. Canada holds an underleveraged strategic card, the potential to be the world's most reliable democratic energy supplier. Recent trade figures show Chinese imports of Canadian crude hit a record 7.3 million barrels in March, a direct result of newly expanded access to the Pacific via the Trans Mountain Expansion, a federally owned pipeline project that now connects Alberta crude to global markets through British Columbia's coast. But one pipeline does not make a national strategy. Demand in Asia is growing fast. India is among the hungriest, but Canada's infrastructure is nowhere near meeting that demand. This matters not just for Canada, but for the United States as well. In a world where energy markets are weaponized and strategic reserves manipulated by authoritarian regimes, the case for a coordinated North American energy alliance is stronger than ever. Such an alliance should not erode national sovereignty. It should reinforce it, allowing Canada, the US, and Mexico to insulate themselves collectively from supply shocks and geopolitical blackmail while projecting democratic strength abroad. But for that alliance to work, Canada must be a credible partner, not merely a junior supplier shackled by Ottawa-induced internal bottlenecks. While the United States has leveraged its shale revolution, LNG capacity, and permitting reforms to pursue energy dominance, Canada dithers, projects languish, investment flees, and meanwhile Canadian oil continues to flow south at a steep discount, only to be refined and resold, often back to us or our trading partners, at full global prices. Yes, you read that right. Canada's oil and gas is sold at a discount to United States customers, and that discount costs Canada more than $70 million every single day. The Frontier Centre for Public Policy has developed a real-time tracker to monitor these losses. This pricing gap exists because Canada lacks sufficient pipeline infrastructure to access overseas buyers directly, forcing producers to sell to the United States, often at below-market rates. Such massive losses should be unacceptable to any government serious about economic growth, geopolitical influence, or environmental integrity. Yet, Ottawa continues to speak the language of ambition while legislating the mechanics of paralysis. Stephen Guilbeault's statement that Canada already has enough pipelines is one example. Canada's energy infrastructure challenges are not just economic, they are matters of national defense. No country can claim to be secure while relying on another's pipelines to transport its energy across its own territory. No country can afford to leave its wealth-producing regions boxed in by regulatory choke points or political resistance dressed as environmental virtue. Our energy economy is fragmented. Western hydrocarbons are stuck inland and must pass through the US to reach eastern Canada or global markets eastward. This weakens national unity and leaves us exposed to foreign leverage. It also creates strategic vulnerabilities for our allies. American industries depend on Canadian crude, so do US Gulf Coast refineries. And while American officials continue to treat energy as a tool of diplomacy and economic leverage, using energy exports to build alliances and reduce reliance on unstable regimes, Canada treats it as a domestic liability. We need to shift the frame. Infrastructure isn't just about steel in the ground, it's the backbone of strategic autonomy. Pipelines, export terminals, and utility corridors would allow Canada to claim its place in the emerging geopolitical order. They would also signal to global investors that Canada is open for business and capable of delivering returns without political obstruction. The US wants a stable, competent partner to help meet global energy needs. Increasingly, so does the rest of the world. But until we address our internal dysfunction and build, we're stuck. Stuck watching global opportunities pass us by. Stuck selling low while others sell high. Stuck in a conversation about sovereignty we're not structurally equipped to address, let alone win. When Carney meets with Trump again, he would do well to remember that economic independence, not rhetorical unity, is the bedrock of sovereignty. Without infrastructure, Canada brings only words to a hard power conversation. Paraphrasing Thomas Hobbes, energy covenants without infrastructure are but words. It's time to stop posturing and start building.